Welcome to another day of Big Pets Under the Hood. Today I'm doing one of the less cost effective deals here, and that is checking the block that I'm going to be using for the build of this 468 I'm starting. Starting this block here, it's a 1978 Chevrolet 2-bolt main cast iron block. It's a production block, and they all say a high performance, but for what I'm going to be using it for, it'll be just fine. I have a laundry list of parts that I've already gathered. When I bought the engine, I bought it used as a core, and I bought it maybe about 10, 11 years ago. So the engine, I have all the parts and stuff to it. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be building that engine like I did the one here in the Monte Carlo, the 468. The difference is that one is 30 over. This one here is 40 over. So I've already taken the rotating assembly apart. The crankshaft was no good because the engine had spun a bearing on it, so I discarded the crank. These are the heads that came off the engine. They are what you would call a open chamber head. And you know that they're open chamber because the quench area between the valve and the spark plug, it's open. It's not really restrictive. So that open chamber. Now, the heads are known as oval port. Oval port describes that this area here where the intake meets the head. If they would have been a rectangle port, then the port would have been more in a rectangle method. As of such, it would have been larger than this right here. It would have been larger than this right here, is what it would have been doing. It's been larger than this right here. And these are the pistons that came out of them. They are 40,000 flat tappet pistons. They don't have a dome, they don't protrude. As you can see, this is one of the failures, and this is the other one. Where the rod, what happened is this rod fell and it hit this one, and that jammed the motor. So at minimal, I'll need two rods. I'll need two rods and two pistons, and that will complete my set. That will complete my set of the 8 pistons, because as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are good. This is the all pump time machine. I'm just laying everything out to see what it is. And if you've never seen what a failure looks like, this is one here where a rod spun on it. As you can see where the material has transferred into the rod, which would mean the only way this rod could be used is it would have to be resized. Now, some people would take them and they would grind them down and they would resize them. That may be something that can happen here. Here's an example of a rod that's a good rod, but could stand to be resized and rebushed. We'll see about that as well. So there's 2 rods there that maybe some could happen with, but I really doubt it. This is one here that didn't have a cap to it, and this rod is bad because you can feel through here it has a ridge on it. So instead of messing with it, the best thing would be to do to replace it. So at minimal, I'm gonna buy 8 rods and 2 pistons, and I'll put this together. As always, share, like, subscribe, and thank you for another day with Big Pets Under the Hood. And this is my grandson that's in training right now to take over one day on the channel. Everybody say hello to Lex. He's got a channel coming up called The Wonderful World of Lex.